conceals your goal. Yeah, obviously.
Yo. Thank you for joining us. What's up? I hope everybody is doing fan-fucking-tastic. If you're a longtime fan of the podcast, then you remember that I used to read the Bible in the beginning of some of my podcasts. I would read a Bible verse, and I probably still will do that in the future. But this time I thought we'd switch it up a little bit, and because I thought, well, you know what? There's no explaining to do. Let me just read the word, okay? I got a lot of cash. I don't mind spending it. I'm going to smoke this joint. Then I'm going to break you off. I'd be lying if I say you ain't the one. All these tattoos in my skin, they turn you on. A lot of smoking, drinking. That's the shit I'm on. Heard you not the type that you take home to mom. Is we fucking when we leave the club or nah? I ain't spending cash for nothing. I want to see you take it off. I'ma pop this bottle. You gonna give me a break or not? Do you like the way I flick my tongue or not? You can ride my face until you're dripping cum. Can you lick the tip, then throat the dick or not? Can you let me stretch that pussy out or not? I'm not the type to call you back tomorrow, but the way you wrapping around me is a prob. Ain't nobody trying to save ya. Baby, get that paper. Probably got a lot of other bitches owe you favors. Pussy's so good, I had to save that shit for later. Took her to the kitchen, fucked her right on the table. She reppin' EXO to the death. I'ma try to make these bitches sweat. I'ma try keep that pussy wet. I'ma try fuck her and her friends. You gonna run it for these honnets, girl, or nah? Show me. Is you really about the money, girl, or nah? Don't play with the boss, girl. Take it off. Take it off for a real one. You're gonna get it all. I can't continue this, dude. That is The Weeknd featuring Ty Dolla $ign. And I just thought this song is fucking hilarious, man. Like, if people really listen to this and they think that it's so good. But they're wrong. It's great, okay? It's in fact great. I just try to imagine walking up to a woman, a human being, and saying some of this shit. Imagine walking up to someone and being like, do you like the way I flick my tongue or not? I mean, I know it's like a song and whatever. It's not. I like The Weeknd, like that one song. That one song that's in everything. You know the one. Dun, 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 dun. That song is a pop, dude. But man, I just gotta give it up for this. This is just A1 lyrics here. You know, it's just the best kind of quality that you'd want in your music. It goes on for much longer, and but hey, you know,
Hey.
Sometimes it's just the way it is, you know.
Hey.
What?
Hey, my brother eats cold hot dogs. My brother eats called hot dogs.
That's the Weeknd in my ear. I don't know. I'm a hater. I try to like keep the flow going with this podcast, but it's hard because I get stuck, and I'm just like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? I could tell you what you could do about it right now. You can go to my podcast page on Apple, and you can look at obviously with Nate, and you can go on there, and you can rate it 1 star. You can rate it 5 stars if you wanted to. I mean, that's the ideal. If you rate it 1 star, and that's how you feel. I mean, I get it. Like, I get it. But I got a lot of cash, and I don't mind spending it. I'm going to smoke this joint, then I'm going to break you off. What does that even mean, though? I'd be lying if I said you ain't the one. So he'd be lying if he said you ain't the one. So he's telling the truth when he says she is the one? Because he's saying she ain't the one, but then he's lying if he said it. So if she's not the one and he'd be lying about it, then she is the one, right? So this is what he's saying to this chick who's the one. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just seems kind of scummy to me. And human beings are human beings. This is, it's a very big blind spot in a lot of entertainment, though, because a lot of entertainment is just like sexualizing everything, or glamorizing things that aren't glamorous. And so, like, I understand there's a lens here, but I mean, like, really, like, what kind of fucking lens of artistry can you really put on a line like, you can ride my face until you're dripping cum? Ain't nobody trying to save you from the Weeknd. You can't be safer than the Weeknd. Time is happening always. And the Weeknd is coming. Baby, get that paper. I thought it would be funny also to like read this as Tucker Carlson. Like the part where he says, Hurdy not the type that take you home to mom. Is we fucking when we leave the club or not? I ain't spending cash for nothing. Want to see you take it off. I'm gonna pop this bottle. You gonna give me brain or not? I don't know. I can't do a good Tucker Carlson. I was doing the good one last night, but I was pretty high, so I was probably just imagining it. Do you remember that one Family Guy where Peter and Lois are like in a band and they make music and they think that it's like really good, but then they're just high and then they go back and listen to it later and it's not good? That's my life. Can you let me stretch that pussy out or not? What the fuck is that, dude? And then the funniest part is that this guy has slept with more women than I ever will, which is fine. Because I'm not about to conquer. Like, I was a virgin, like, when I was, like, high school age and I was a virgin, everyone mocked me for being a virgin. And you know what? I wish that I would have stayed a virgin longer. Because the girl I lost my virginity to, we don't even talk anymore. She hates my ass. And she cheated on me. But that's a whole nother story. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, man? I'm gonna pop this bottle. You gonna give me brain or not? Can you lip the tip, throat the dick or not? This is the type of music that she listened to. This is the type of music that she liked. This is the type of music that all my exes listened to. All 2 of them. It's funny. I think it's hilarious that this is the type of music that people listen to. And I'm not even like hating on it. I'm really not hating on it because this song doesn't even sound bad. It's not like a bad, like it's not the worst song. I was like driving and the song came on something and I was like, dude, this is hilarious. The lyrics to this are hilarious. And then he's like, you know, you gonna run it for these hundreds, girl, or nah? And it's like, if she's a sex worker or, you know, like a dancer or whatever, you know, then hey, she's there for it. But the context of this is like, you gonna run it for these hundreds or nah? You know, like, are you really about the money, girl, or nah? It seems like he's like trying to ask a girl to do some shit she doesn't want to do. And he's like, you gonna run it for these hundreds or nah? Show me you're really about this money, girl, or nah? I didn't think I was going to be talking about this for that long. Virginia is going to call in later and tell us what's going down in her neck of the woods. And we're just going to check up on her, see how she's doing. If you didn't listen to that podcast, it's no longer on the main channel. I removed all the older podcasts and put them onto my Patreon page, which is www.patreon.com/obviouslypodcast. And there's like over 30 podcasts on there, easily. Some are better than others. It's my first whack at some of these things. So it's, you know, it is what it is. So go back and listen to the cringe. And it's only $1 a month to get access to all that shit. And you can pay once and listen to it and screen record it so you can cancel me, you know, later, save it. I mean, you should really get in on it now. It's $1. You know, whenever I get more clout, then you can use those old podcasts where I said really fucked up shit, like some of the most fucked up shit that you've ever fucking heard. You've never heard things so fucked up. So go pay $1 to go listen to it and record it so you could cancel me. Because you know what happens after that? Guess what happens?
Guess what? It grows the economy. Benefits everybody. Hurts nobody.
That's right.
Guess what? It grows the economy. Benefits everybody.
Hurts
nobody.
That one doesn't cancel. Most of the time you press the button and it can cancel.
Hey, hey, hey.
Like that one, but this one doesn't do it.
Guess what? It grows the economy.
So I just gotta turn it down before it finishes. $1, y'all. And yeah, then you can go record me saying all sorts of shit. You can go to my employer right here. That is where I work currently. May 22nd, 2021. I work here. Okay? And don't you try to ruin it by going to my Patreon and paying $1 to get access to these podcasts where I say horrible things at www.patreon.com/obviouslypodcast. Don't do it. Don't call these people and tell them all the things that I've said on my podcast that are fucked up and that would get me fired. Don't do it. It's only $1. Don't do it. It's only $1. Don't do it, okay? It's only $1.
My brother eat cold hot dogs.
It's so funny. I have the lyrics here on my giant monitor, and they're just staring right at me, you know. It's funny because they say or nah like it's really an option. Can you take a dick or nah? Can I bring another bitch or nah? Like when she says no, you think that they're really going to be like, okay. No, they're going to be like, they're going to revert back to the previous, well, is you about this money? Said, statement or question. That's not a statement, okay? It's a question. They're like, is you about this money? And then she's like, yeah, I'm about this money. And he's like, well, can I bring another bitch or not? And she's like, nah. And he's like, I thought you said she was about this money, you know? So it's not like she could really say no. And then the next line, is you with the shits or nah? Literally, is you with the shits or nah? What is he asking this woman here? What is he asking this human being? Is he asking to shit on her? Is this Ty Dolla $ign's verse? Is this Ty Dolla $ign? Who is this? I don't think that's Ty Dolla. I think that's still The Weeknd. If I haven't made a mistake here. Is you with the shits or not? Imagine you're getting it in, okay? I'm gonna use the vernacular because it's already here. You're getting it in with a young lady or a young man, of age, okay? It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. Man or woman you're sleeping with, okay? And you ask them. You're getting it in. And you say, hey, is you with the shits or not? Are you already shitting by that point? Do you have the shit ready? Is it something that you can stop? They say nah. What do you do? Very troubling. It's a very troubling scenario. And you know what I just thought of? This whole video is going to be reversed. This whole image is going to be reversed. But you know what I just remembered? I have a video editing software. I'm high. Oh man, that's good stuff. Okay. Well, I hope that you are happy with all of your life decisions because they've led you here. If you're still watching this, then you are a true fan. You are a true hero. Oh, all these tattoos on my skin? They turn you on? It's a lot of smoking, a lot of drinking. It's the shit I'm on. Already not the type that you take home to mom. Is we leaving when we fuck the clover now? I can't keep talking about this. I have to exit out of this so that I can't keep referencing it. Because I've had enough. I've had enough. Oh, Tim Dillon on Jeremiah Wonders. So, Tim Dillon is gotta be the best comedian alive right now. And sorry if that's a hot take. I mean, you say Bill Burr is the greatest comedian, that's fine. But Bill Burr made out with Marissa Tomei, okay? he made out with Marissa Tomei. You're not a comedian. You're Hollywood. And I know I'm doing Chris D'Elia. It's hard not to do Chris D'Elia. It's hard not to have sex with Chris D'Elia. He texted me on Instagram. I went to a show. I went to a Chris D'Elia show, and it was so funny. And I just texted him. I'm like, "Hey man," on Instagram. I instant messaged him on Instagram. And I was like, "Hey man, I loved the show, and this is a long shot, but I just thought maybe if you were feeling it, I don't know, we could, hang out at my hotel room." And he messaged me, you won't believe it, he messaged me back instantly. He said, "Yes, thank you so much. This is a great city." We were in Tampa, Florida at that time. Like, Tampa's a great city. I love it here. It's one of my favorite cities. I'm like, yeah, it's great. And why did I have a hotel room in my own city? Well, you know what? That's none of your business, okay? And if I wanted to say what I was doing with the hotel in Tampa, in my own hometown where I was living, not my hometown, but the town where my home was, then I would have said, okay? I would have said. And then, so, one thing leads to another. And then he messages me and he's like, "Can we make out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, of course. Of course we can make out." And so he comes over and I open the door and his dick is immediately in my hand. And it's like a magic trick. It's like I don't even know what happened. But, I'm like, okay, this is life in the big city, There's just another thing that happens. And so, anyways, Chris D'Elia, he's a great comedian. But Tim Dillon, he's got to be the best comedian alive right now. You might say Bobby Lee. You might say Bobby Lee is one of the best comedians alive or the best comedian. I agree, one of the best. Was he the best at one time? Yeah, like 3 years ago, when Tiger Belly was actually the shit, when it was really fucking good. And Tiger Belly is still great. I watch it. I watch every episode. But, I gotta say it. I gotta say it. Kalilah's Yoko. Kalilah's Yoko. Oh no. And not in a bad way. Not as bad as Yoko. Because it's not like she's kind of changing Bobby Lee's like joking style, but that's only when she's around. And I'm not hating on Kalilah because I really like Kalilah, She seems like a nice gal. But sometimes, man, tell you what, sometimes. And, I bet certain people, if they watch this podcast, I bet they'd be like, "Oh, Nate gets on my nerves," whatever. Or, I don't like what he says about this, or I don't think that's fine. Okay. And, I still watch the Tiger Belly podcast. So it's not like I'm a hater because I'm a lover. Okay. I love the podcast. I've been watching it since 2019. And when I started watching it then, I wasn't watching it, I was listening to it. I started from episode 1 because I found out that Bobby Lee actually had a podcast. And that was when I started getting into podcasts. And I watched every episode, or listened to every episode at least, from episode 1. And I was a Patreonages. Patreon is great, man. You get all kinds of exclusive content. That's what I did with them. I watched their vlogs and their exclusive podcast. Bobby Lee, hilarious. Tim Dillon, though, best comedian alive. Funniest man. Funniest man. It sucked that it took me so long to get going with this. But you know what? That's life, baby. That's life in the big city. And I'm not going to let it get me down. Okay. See Poe? Poe Dameron? Poe Dameron? Get his hat. Can't put up his hat because he's too far away. And then my dog is down there. She's sleeping. Gotta get the old dog some surgeries. Took her to the vet because she's been limping like the past couple days. And she has like a ligament or something like that torn in her knee. And, you know, must be really painful for her because she limps. And, you know, we were real worried about her, so took her in. And the vet checked her out, you know, told him what was going on. And he knew right away. He like felt her leg and he's like, yeah, you know, she has a tear and this, whatever. And he's like, you know, if you want her to walk normal and not be in pain, then, you know, I'd really strongly urge you to get this surgery. It's like, I don't remember what the ligament or what the thing is called that she tore. And I don't remember the name of the surgery. It's like the same name of the thing. But we gotta do that for Marcy because she's such a big dog and she's only 3 years old. And, you know, I'm not about to have my dog like limping all over the place and being in pain. So we got her some pain medicine. The doctor prescribed her some pain medication. And we're going to get her in there here in about 10 days. So it's expensive surgery, but it's worth it. We have pet insurance though, but the thing with pet insurance is that you like have to pay for the surgery first, and then they'll refund you your money. So it doesn't really make sense. You think that they would pay for it up front and you'd like pay a deductible or something like that, you know? But they pay the whole thing. They reimburse you, but you have to pay the initial first payment. So it's pretty expensive, but it's worth it. And, you know, I want the dog to have a good life and not be hurting. But I'm like hoping that the surgery goes good and she heals properly so that way she doesn't like tear it again and it's worse than before and all this, you know. So it's kind of stressful. But that's what's been going on. Not too much else is going on, but that's just the big news there in good old Nate Town. Fuck. She's okay too, and she's fucking strong, man. You wouldn't even know that she's hurting, except for at night she like limps a little bit, and you can hardly even tell. She barely even does it. But she's a fucking tough dog, man. She never feels pain. Like, she doesn't ever show it. She chewed off her own tail and like had blood everywhere one night. And she was like so happy we were home. You didn't even, like, if there wasn't blood everywhere and she didn't chew off her tail, we would have thought she was fine. We went out. I'll tell you the story because, you know, a lot of people probably don't know the story. We went out one night and came back home because we put Marcy in the kennel at that time because she was a puppy and she was like really destructive when we would leave the house. So we'd put her in the kennel and she'd chill in there. But she is a big dog, so she has this thing called happy tail, where she'll wag her tail really hard, and it'll hit things, and then big ass tail hitting things, and she like fucking splits it open. So she would split open her tail sometimes, and we'd have to like treat it with like little ointment and stuff, and like wrap it so it would heal. And then she would split it again, and it would bleed, and we'd have to wrap it and do all that stuff. So then one night we went out and then came home to her in the kennel, and there was just blood everywhere, and like this much of her tail had like been chewed off. And then, yeah, horrible, traumatic experience. But she was like, you wouldn't even know that she was hurt at all. Like, unfazed completely. She was just like so happy we were home, wagging her tail, getting blood everywhere. It was a horrible, horrible experience, dude. Seriously, traumatic as fuck. But she's a tough dog, and she is a really good dog. And I would do anything for this dog. I used to be selfish when we first got the dog, and I used to want to be like, man, let's get rid of this dog. I mean, I still kind of feel that way sometimes, but I would never abandon this dog. It's crazy how people just leave their dogs places or just give their dogs away. She chewed a hole in the wall one day, and I was really angry, and I was like, we have to get rid of this dog. We can't do it. You know, we're out in West Virginia, living in the middle of nowhere. We're not even supposed to have pets in this place. And then she's, ruining the house. So I was just hella stressed. I'm like, man, we got to get rid of this dog. And I'm so glad that we didn't. And I'm also so glad that nobody saw my social media post or commented on it or anything. And she stayed with us because, fuck, man, I would feel so fucked. I'd be brokenhearted. And that's how I feel now when I think about ever getting rid of her or ever like having to put her to sleep because she's old or anything like that. Or her getting hit, God forbid, her getting hit by a car. Any bad thing like that is just like the worst thought in the world, to think about something like that. And I know that there's no comparison with pets to children and having children, but there are similarities. And fuck me, I gotta decline this shit. And one of the similarities is always worrying. I'm always worried about the dog. I'm always like, what's the dog doing? What you doing, dog? And I worry when we leave her at home alone. I try to pretend like I'm not worrying. Try to be like, oh, how's the dog? I'm like, oh yeah, she's good. Don't worry. But in my head, I'm like, what if the house catches on fire and all the doors are locked? Will she be smart enough to figure out how to unlock the doors? Because we don't have a doggy door. She's fucking huge, dude. If we had a doggy door big enough for her, people could walk in. So, that surgery is happening on June 2nd. So if you are religious or spiritual, prayers are welcomed and appreciated. And if you are not spiritual or religious, positive vibes and feelings are appreciated and reciprocated. I'm super nervous about it. I'm really worried about her, but the doctor seems like he is capable, and he seems like he cares. The last vet we went to in Florida was like a horrible experience, and this guy seems like he's a lot better than that place. So just really hoping that it goes smooth and that we can like monitor her well enough, because we have to be with her like 24/7 to make sure she's not overextending herself, because then she could tear that ligament again. So you got to like make sure she's only walking around and like just taking it easy. And then after a couple weeks, then she can start to run again and all that stuff and play. But she's got to heal for like 4 weeks. So yeah. I know it's going to be okay though. And even if it's not okay, it's going to be okay, because that's life. And in life, things aren't always okay. Things are oftentimes not okay. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that it's pleasant. But a lot of times there's not a lot of things you can do to change some factors of life. And that's just reality. And it's hard to not be worried or scared or angry, you know, at the bad things that happen. But if you are, that's also just normal and natural. As long as you don't hurt anyone in the process, those feelings are okay. And I don't know what I'm trying to say. Maybe I'm just trying to comfort myself. But at any rate, I guess I'll cut this. Cut it now, and we'll go talk to Virginia. But before we do that, go ahead and like this video, baby. Leave a comment. I don't care what you're commenting. So leave a comment for the algorithm. Comment your favorite color. And like and subscribe. If you're listening to this on Spotify, follow, heart, and download. If you're listening to this on Google or Apple, subscribe and review. Review 5 stars, baby. It helps. It helps out. Share the podcast with a friend. Go to my Patreon. It's $1 a month. Bunch of exclusive podcasts. And there's more exclusive podcasts on there too with video. So go check it out. What am I forgetting? I always forget something. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Thank you. If you're listening still, thank you. Okay. Let's go talk to Virginia.
Hello.
Hey.
So how you been?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I can't believe that you called me and almost like a year later. I mean, I'm in the same position, but in a different country.
That's crazy. So it was almost a year ago that we did our podcast, and like May of,
Yes, and we talk about the quarantine, about the situation, and nothing's changed a
wow.
year later.
Well, I think last time you were in Russia though, right?
Yes, and now I'm back home here, and I'm in Argentina, hometown.
So the situation hasn't changed. So what do you mean? Like you're like just super strict?
Yes, I mean, I'm just saying that it didn't change because like this strict confinement in Russia, and of course it's over now. Last year, and we are going back again to the same situation. But one thing in Russia and one thing it's being here, and then things are completely the same, but different. Sorry, yes, they're completely different.
It's hard to hear you. You keep breaking up a little bit. I heard mostly what you said. Um, can you hear me? Am I breaking up
I'm
at all?
sorry. Can you hear me? Yes, yes, yes. I can hear you.
You sound really good now.
It's the internet. I don't know.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, you keep doing a robot voice. It's all ooh.
Wait, are you recording this right now? Right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Okay. Again. Oh my God.
How's Chelsea doing?
She's good. Best life. Shout out Chelsea.
Okay, so we're saying I think it'll be okay. I can understand you, but
Okay.
it's like sometimes it'll cut out, but I still know what you're saying. And one day we'll be able to do a podcast in person. So
Yay!
until then,
That would be awesome.
yeah, that would
Next
be good.
year. Hopefully next year.
So you're coming back to the States next year, or like, what do you think?
That'd be my dream. That would be my dream. But I have I'm vaccinated. I mean, I had the vaccine,
Yeah.
so I'm sure it'd be fine if they ask for the vaccine to enter the country. Maybe, I don't know.
They're not even asking for it right now. So, I mean, unless it's different if you were like here on a work visa or something, but if you come in
Okay.
just as like a visitor, like they're not asking for it at all, as far as I know. But
Okay.
like a lot of
Better
the,
then.
yeah, there's no travel restrictions really here in the US. I think you can leave and come in, but I could be wrong about that. But there's no restrictions between state lines. But you're saying it's like really strict.
You guys are like, I mean, for what I've seen on Instagram, everything that I follow on the news, like, what I can tell is like everything's back to normal. I mean, that's what
Well,
I see on Instagram. I don't know if
yeah.
that's true.
The thing is that it was like in a weird, like America was in a weird place when the pandemic first happened because everyone was scared and like, all worried about everything. But I mean, seriously, a couple
Yeah.
weeks after things started to shut down, people were just doing things as normal. I mean, like once things opened up and were like very like minimally open, people don't social distance. People don't like wear their masks correctly. And it's not like a complaint of mine because I think that that's all kind of bullshit but that's just me. I don't think that the virus is bullshit, but I think that all the rules that they make us do are bullshit because they have all these signs everywhere that are, oh, socially distance, do all this, do that, and no one's doing it, and then they say at the end of the day, they say, oh, good job, everybody. Everybody did a great job today with social distancing and, doing the right thing and following all the rules. And then everyone looks around and winks at each other and is like, yeah, we all did a great job. We got to keep up the good work.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's just all fake. It's just all BS. And
People, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's the same here. I can say that people don't, they say that they're doing it, like they're wearing the mask. Sometimes I get to keep the distance. Sometimes I don't wear the mask correctly. Meet with my friends. I mean, I try to be careful on my own because now I have my own place, but I don't go very often to my parents' house because I know that I'm on the street most times, so I'm not less. I just go there, let nothing happen. So I know that I'm an adult, and sometimes I don't follow the rules. So it's a little bit of and everything that was, well, at least here talking about. That's why they're shutting us down again.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
hard.
just crazy.
It is, and it's hard here, but then I look at other countries like Argentina where they're actually making a strict like what's the word, curfew. And like here in America, they have
Yes,
like a suggested curfew, but no one's really following it, you know, and if someone breaks it, it's not like they're going to get arrested or anything. And I don't want people to get arrested. That's not really the point of what I'm trying to say. It's just a weird game that everyone's playing here, and everyone's pretending like they're doing something to help everyone when in reality they're just, you know, doing what's quote unquote right so that their neighbor doesn't look down on them, you know, and doesn't look at them like they're scum.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think here they have been giving us like many options to do everything right, but the numbers show something different. Like the amount of death, like the number of death are increasing. And at least in my city, like 2 weekends ago, is like we hit a record, like 1,000 they gave positive, and they say, "Whoa, what is going on?" But at the same time, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday parties explode over the weekend,
Yeah.
and on Monday, positive cases to appear again, and we don't have a really good health system. The hospital people can afford a private clinic, so yeah, it's like, mm-mm.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
tough. I'm glad that you got the vaccine. I'm glad that you are at least protected there. Because yeah, it's scary because nowadays you really can't depend on other people, and it's kind of scary. You kind of have to like watch out for yourself and make sure that you're
Let
doing.
me ask you something. Like around you and your friends and your you know anyone or your friends like they have they lost a family member
Are you asking if anyone has gotten it or if anyone has died from it?
died from it? People that you know, friend of a friend, family of a friend.
I mean, like on Facebook, there's always that one person that's like, my grandma's best friend died, but I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone personally, no, who actually died from it.
Because like you will sit five of my friends and they will tell I lost my father, I lost my grandmother, I lost my cousin. Five like closest friends of mine, even it at work. So we came to this conclusion like if you talk to someone here, they'll tell you, yes, I lost someone because of COVID. So if you get that response and it doesn't keep doing the same, I have students like you know that I give children classes of English.
Hmm.
Um, this girl, she's super nice to me. Talk about one about COVID, and she said, "I really don't talk about it because I mom and grandmother like oh," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry."
So she doesn't want to.
School principal, I mean,
She doesn't want to talk about it because
think
her
about it. I mean,
her grandma and mom passed away.
yeah, she's still on like grief, so it was kind of like a delicate check. But her mother and grandma died because of COVID, and then at my principal of my school, uh, like at the beginning of the month, they called us saying that she won't be going. Her mother was sick in the hospital, and then the rumors came had COVID, and then her father had also her, her brother. So she lost those 35 members, like the prince, my boss at school. She lost 35 members in a month.
Yeah, that's
And that really
horrible.
scared me a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough because you don't want to be. I don't know how like you feel personally, but I don't want to be like insensitive to anyone, and so I'm like really like I try to feel out how they feel about it, and then
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of tell them how you really feel. But if you can't,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's hard because you don't know if someone has, you know, their grandma died from it, or if they know someone who is sick with it now, or if they're just super sensitive
Mm-hmm.
about it. Some people just really they don't want to talk about it, and if you have anything to say, then they just really go educational on you, and they want to tell you about how you're wrong and how you don't. But it's a scary thing for everyone. It's not just uh, it's not just people like me who are just I don't know, just not worried about anything. Like I don't worry about anything. Like I'm very fortunate to be able to just like go about my life and not have to worry about it because I'm like
Yeah.
healthy and I have like my own car and my own place to live, and so I can kind of distance from everyone. But then there's other people who don't have that,
Mhm.
and they share homes with their parents or grandparents or whatever. So it's hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. It's a delicate subject. I mean, get, I don't give my opinion like to anyone. I just, if I have someone to talk to, I just do about everything what is going on today. But at the same time, I feel like you. I mean, I'm pretty blessed. I mean, I even in this pandemic, I still have a job. I have money by the end of the month. I have my own place. My family is okay. I mean, I can be selfish sometimes. Think, okay, yeah, my family is fine, but at the same time, I have like, a lot of people near me that they're losing their relatives because of
Yeah.
COVID. Sometimes
Yeah.
I don't even know how to feel about it.
No, me either. Because some days I'll be like, oh man, I better be careful, take all the vitamins and all this stuff. And then the next day, I'm just like, it's no big deal, I'm just like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be
Yeah,
consistent.
like even here the thing here in Argentina is like besides COVID, what is killing us is restriction and our economy is like on the bottom. Like I'm sure more of that. What's going to happen with the country, with our economy, our money, like the devaluation currency. I mean, my money, like the Argentinian peso, is worth less and less. And there's more poverty, more insecurity. That's what I care about than gold.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the
And I think it's because I work my ass off. Yes, I work a lot, and money is not enough. You go to the supermarket, it's not enough. That's scary.
yeah, man, we need to get you back to the United States. You got to come back to the United States and live here, and then get your family over
Yeah,
here
me and
too.
Marlene were still on the same page, like going back to the States.
Yeah, that's a long term something to shoot for sure. But even here in the States, like
Yeah.
we're
There's something. Yeah, even in the state. I mean, it's a dream that I have. I hopefully, but your country is so different from mine, and parents get a social security card and everything. I will
yeah.
still be an out, and it's gonna cost me to
It
get it. Like, get
it's not cheap. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but there's something about that I want to go back.
You can come back illegally. It's okay.
Yeah. I sometimes I think of that,
Just
but I don't know.
get on a boat and then hop down in Florida and you'll be good. Have you
Yeah.
have you ever been to Florida?
Yes, I chance to Saint Augustine.
Oh, nice. Yeah. The haunted
Yeah,
St.
that was
Augustine.
a what? Yes, that was my favorite city. Like from all the that I visit in the States, definitely my favorite one, Saint Augustine. And of course, I went to Miami. Like, oh yeah, everyone goes to Miami, so I went to Miami.
Miami is crazy. That's a crazy place.
Yes. But definitely, yes, on Saint Albert.
I miss Florida a lot. I was down there with Morgan. We were there for, well, she was there longer than I was, but a little over a year in Spring Hill, which is like I think north of Tampa. So it's like just
Yeah.
an hour north of Tampa. But yeah, Florida is really awesome, and a lot of people here in the States, they talk down on Florida, but I don't know why, because it's like
Mm-hmm.
a really awesome place. I love Florida, and I have a lot of good friends there.
Yeah, definitely. Cocoa Beach. Yeah, that's the other place that I was able to visit. Yes, it
Nice.
was Cocoa Beach.
What about your friend who went with you to Russia? Did she come back? Does she live in Argentina, or does she stay in Russia?
Yes, she lives in Argentina. She lives like in a state like 2 hours away from where I live.
Nice.
So we keep in touch. I mean, we became like little sisters. I'm the big sister because she's 22.
Yeah.
she she's super young. I mean, she's just starting college and she's at home with her mom and dad. Like she's good. She's studying, and we talk. I mean, we live only 2 hours away, and still we can find a time to meet again or to see each other again.
Thanks. So you haven't seen her since you broke up and went back to your separate states?
Well, we had a chance like back during Easter time, the beginning of April, because it was a long week of Easter, so she came for a short visit of 3 days.
Oh,
But yeah,
nice.
yeah, that was the last time that we saw each other.
It's hard too with everything because you can't hang out with everyone the same way, and I feel like it's created
Exactly.
a big barrier, even when like for instance, if your friends are vaccinated, or that they have isolated, and you're not like worried about getting sick,
Mm-hmm.
there's still some sort of like something there that makes you not want to be out in public. Or maybe that's just me. Like
Yes.
there's like this big weight to be like, no, just stay home. Like you don't have to go out. And I feel like a lot more people are succumbing to that than before. And like you said about the poverty and the addiction stuff,
Yeah.
you remember in West Virginia. West Virginia is like a huge place for drugs out there in the mountains. Like
Yeah.
there's people, they like make meth and stuff and all that crazy stuff, and they all the prescription pills that they have out there in West Virginia. But in New Mexico here, where I'm at, it's pretty bad too, and you just see a lot of homeless people, and I don't know. It's crazy because homeless people are like immune to COVID, and there's no way that they're like ever gonna die of COVID.
Really? How so?
I mean,
What do you mean?
that's not like a fact, but there was a study
Uh-huh.
in, I think it was in like Rhode Island or something. I think it was Rhode Island. Maybe it was New York, but it was one of those northeastern states where they had taken like a group of homeless people and then like tested them for COVID, and then like 50% of them, over 50% of them had the antibodies for COVID, and none of them had been sick
Wow.
like the whole time. So these homeless people out in the streets, like they're like impervious to, I don't know, to things like that.
There's possible. Is there a way that the government can help them, like there in your country, or sometimes they choose to be homeless? I think
Yeah. Yeah.
because I know they get some help and they still don't want because of the drugs and because they like to live on the street, I guess.
Exactly.
But do the government like offer them something
Um, I
to be on
think
the street?
so, because I think so, but I don't, but not really. There's like, they offer them things, but it's like you have to kind of be in the system. And like a lot of these people, they don't have, like you said, they don't have social security cards. They don't have birth certificates,
Mm-hmm.
They just have their shirt and the clothes on, on their body. That's all that they have.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard for people like that. But they, like you said, they can go to shelters, but those shelters are mostly
Yeah.
privately owned and privately funded, or they're publicly owned and publicly funded through nonprofit organizations, and they're not even funded through the state. Now, I'm sure there are state-funded homeless shelters, but here in Albuquerque, there's only one homeless shelter that I know of, and it's privately run, and it's run by a church, and they're nonprofit, and so they do it just as like a ministry, so they don't really make any money off of it. But the homeless people, they don't want to go there because they don't let them do drugs. So like they don't want to go into a place to be safe and eat food and have a warm place to sleep and to take a shower, because they just want to do drugs and get high. And so they don't go to the shelter. They just stay out in the streets. So that's why it's hard to kind of justify giving them money, because you see like the same people out in the streets and you're like, fuck, dude.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, here, I mean, we have homeless people, but probably you're gonna see like one or two, maybe three. The rest are just like poor people, like they're begging on the street, but then they have a home to come back. Those are the ones you have to, because those, besides being, they can mug you and hurt you, or because they're on drugs and they just want money to buy drugs,
Right.
and if they have to attack you, they will attack. So you have to be careful with those people.
Yeah, a lot of the
And
homeless.
now,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, that's okay. I was gonna say, now, because of everything that is changing with our economy, a lot of people is on the street. There is no work, and yeah, the race. You are like an easy target to be mugged nowadays.
I think that's the most scary of, like, the most scary aspect of this whole thing. Like you're saying, like the money, your currency is, getting devalued lesser and lesser. And once the currency is nothing, then people can't buy food and all that stuff. Then it's going to be like chaos. And that's what I'm afraid of too in the States, is that once the people can't buy shit, or like there was like a gas shortage on the East Coast, and like people were freaking out and just like buying all the gas, and like it's just crazy, because those people who panic buy, they're the same people who are going to be like killing people, whenever there's no food at the grocery store. They're the ones who are like gonna go out in the streets and like go psycho, because they're selfish, and like,
is the government, they're helping like in some way they're out of work?
yeah.
I mean, given them
Yes.
kind of help.
Yes and no. Yes.
Last year was kind of like.
Sorry. You still there?
No, it's okay.
Okay, you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
There is some relief from the government, so you can get unemployment, but that's only like $800 a month or something like that. And so if you're thinking someone who has kids or whatever, they can get an additional amount for each child. But if you have 3 kids, $1,200 a month is like nothing. Especially, I don't know, especially if you're living in the city or what. So you can get unemployment, but that only lasts for so long. And then once it runs out, it's done. You can get SNAP food, food stamps, which is just like, food funds from the government. So you can buy food from the grocery store, and it won't let you buy anything else. You can only buy food. There's that, but a lot of that stuff is very minimal, and it's like barely enough for people to get by, like you were saying before. Like it's barely enough for people to get by. And so like the government does offer these things for people, but either if you can get past the forms, which aren't that hard, it's not hard to fill out paperwork, but some people don't have the mental capacity for that. Some of these people who are, like whatever. They have whatever issue going on. They don't have the mental capacity for stuff like that. So if you can get past that, then you have to wait. You know, you have to wait for your paychecks to come in, and sometimes it can take months for your payments to clear, and then you start getting regular checks. But what does it matter if you start getting regular checks if they're 6 months late? So if you can wait until then you start getting your money, and then once you start getting the money, then it's like you realize that it's not like you can't live off of it. It's not supplemental enough. It's very minimal. So there are things that the government offers for people, but really, in all reality, they're giving, instead of giving those breaks to the people who need it, the people with kids and stuff like that who have hungry kids, they're giving it to these big corporations, and they give billion-dollar bailouts to these giant corporations, and then those.
Similar. It's similar what's going on. Yeah, the government is giving like a lot of help, like the needy people, like people actually need it. But at the same time, you will see a family that actually, it's like putting the money in a day for going to school, for food. But at the same time, other family that they money, but they buy cell phones, they big TVs and stereos. So the government control how money is spent also. And honestly, I don't know how a family does it nowadays here in Argentina. I go to the supermarket and I see a mom with his two children and buying like I don't know, diapers, food for baby,
Yeah.
super expensive. And sometimes I think like my mom would have like get by in a situation if me and my and she earning like a teacher salary, like probably my mom like I don't know get another job back then, and now she's tired living at home with no worries, paying bills. But I don't know how they do it with the situation.
Me either. Yeah. And God bless them.
It's hard. It's hard
Yeah.
to bring. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to bring someone to this is here in Argentina. I would think it twice before having a kid here. I don't know how to survive myself by the end.
I'm definitely thinking about it more than twice. I'm thinking about it a million times, and then I'm like, no, no kids.
Yeah. And now we are close, like done everything for 9 days, but say there's gonna be 9 days, but we're pretty sure they're gonna extend more, and that's gonna be chaos soon. That's scary. It's scaring me the most.
So 9 days.
Yes.
So
I don't know. They think maybe 9 days end everything.
So no anything. So no leaving the house. No. What is that like?
Okay, so the only people allowed to leave their houses, essential workers, like for hospital, police, firefighters, people bank, in the pharmacy, supermarket, pretty much it. And you're allowed in 500 meters around, like walk 3 blocks probably or 4 blocks away from my house. For example, I can't go to my parents' house because retain me, give me a fine, or I don't want. I'm just gonna stay here
Sorry,
in my apartment.
sorry, you're breaking up a little bit. So you say
But
you can't go 500 meters outside of your apartment, or else you'll get a ticket.
yes, something like that. I don't know what you can get. Find out.
You don't want to find out. Yeah, don't test it.
No. So I live in a building with my roommate and their family upstairs. So we talk then out, we watch TV. I mean, that's do for 9 days. I
That's
mean, go out. I can't see my family or see my friends, so I'm just gonna stay.
wow. Well, shit. I feel like I wish that there was something I could do to help out, or if there was, some way I could make that those 9 days better than and not so dreadful because
No, I
you don't
mean,
you
yeah, I mean, I have to study, so I will do. I mean, at the same time, like we talked before, I'm blessed because I have a job. The school still pay, like I have a check by. I have Zoom classes because I will continue my. So all I have to do is just stay at home and work on my computer. So in that part, I'm blessed because I get to do that. But some people,
for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a good perspective to have, to be thankful and grateful, and I'm glad that you're keeping it in perspective. Um, but just know if things start getting dark or anything like that, that you can always talk to me, and I'm very open with that type of shit. Like the mental health areas of life are very difficult waters
thank you.
to go through. So it is hard to do it alone. So if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm always here. Um, Hopefully the 9 days will go by
Thank you.
fast, and you'll have plenty of movies and stuff to watch whenever you're not doing homework and stuff. So
Yeah, I want to take an exam by the end of the year, so I need to start studying. So probably this is going to be a good way to study.
for sure, for sure. This just popped into my head. But so you teach kids, like, do you teach the same ones on a regular basis, or is it like very short classes that only last like a couple weeks? Like, how does that work?
Well, I'm currently teaching in the 7th grade, like in my school. It's a public school. I
Mm-hmm.
have been a teacher there for 5 years. So last year, I got to know them because they were in the 6th grade and they were my students. And this year, I have classes with them on Wednesday and Friday. And then I got a job in a private institution, like, and I'm in charge of teenagers. They have a really good level of English. It's This institution is like a 7 year institution, like to learn English, 7 years,
Wow.
and they are in 4th year.
Oh wow.
So they're doing good. I mean,
So
they need to study, and so I work with them on Tuesday and on Thursdays, and then the rest of the days, I teach English like a tutoring. Some kids need help from homework, or they need some, so they call me, and I have had the same students for the past 4 years. So I know them, they know me. So we have been working, and I go to their houses, pay good money for like private lessons.
that's really
And
cool.
now because of the yeah, now because of the restrictions, we're gonna do just gonna have the classes on Zoom.
Okay.
So like I said, I have work.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just didn't know how that worked, and I didn't know that you're a public school teacher. That's like gangster as fuck. That's awesome. You're teaching the children, the next generation.
Yeah, yeah. The generation, at least the ones that I have. Oh my God! I mean, they suffered last year because of like the school shutting down classes.
Oh,
The thing is that the public school that I work is like a very low income. I mean, I'm not gonna say poor because it's not poor, but the area where they live, it's kind of like far away on the countryside,
Okay.
and none of them have access to or a computer or a phone. So most of them last year, like they missed school,
Wow.
and now it's getting difficult for them to get back on their feet. And last week, there was they shut down the public transport, so I work and I couldn't make a video of them because none of them have their own cell phones. They wait until the parents are home to use their phone. So I said, sorry, I just created a WhatsApp group because that's the app we all use.
Yeah.
And I made a video, a short video, and I was in like online for an hour and I explained an activity. They did good. I mean, it's only one activity. I cannot teach or a new subject or anything on WhatsApp. So they work on what they already know.
Hmm. Well, that's pretty quick thinking of you to like figure that out through WhatsApp instead of going through the Zoom now. So so you're saying that they're going to do Zoom now? How are they going to do Zoom if they don't have computers or phones?
No, no, that the other ones that I teach in the private institution,
Uh,
they live in the city, and all of them have
oh,
access to Zoom. With them, with those teenagers using Zoom, but the ones in the public school, I would just use WhatsApp.
oh, okay. Damn, WhatsApp is so versatile. It's wild.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Yes.
well, right on.
Yeah.
I don't know how uh to end this. Do you have anything that you want to say to the people? Any message or parting advice that you have for
Yes.
the young people?
First, everyone needs to listen to the podcast. It's a
Thank you.
must.
Thank you.
And they have the school. Please, everyone stay at school. If they feel that they are learning anything, just please stay at school.
Stay in school,
You're gonna find
kids.
a good teacher, probably a good teacher like me. Yeah, a cool teacher. And it's gonna be worth it.
Heck yeah. If you have a cool teacher,
And
someone who cares
hopefully,
about you.
yeah. And hopefully, please, everyone that is listening to right now, just keep your prayers high that I can come back to the States and live there.
Heck yeah.
That's my dream.
That it'll happen, Virginia, and it's a long-term thing, but before you know it, the time's going to go by, and so there's no time to waste to work towards our future. And that's what my parting message is going to be, is that there's no time to waste. And I don't know about anyone who's
Exactly.
listening, but I've wasted a lot of time just doing my own thing, and now it's time to fucking work hard and make it happen, Cap'n.
Of course. And the very last thing, just be kind. Especially in this day, be kind.
I need that advice too. I need to be more kind. You're right.
Yes. Even in a small thing, just be kind.
Virginia, thank you for calling in, or I called you. Thanks for picking up.
Yes.
And thanks for installing Discord. Hopefully
Yes.
we can talk again before we do another podcast. Like I said, just let me know if you ever want to talk. If things get weird, I'm here for you. You have a friend in me.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
Virginia.
you.
I'll talk to you later.
Night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Thank you to all the listeners. Oh, how do we do it? Thank you. Go subscribe and like and comment. All that good stuff. a wonderful